My form tutor always told me that doing revision in the morning would not contribute to any extra grades. How would they know that? I got these grades in my GCSE, and I'm gonna show you the exact steps that I did between waking up and actually sitting in front of my exam that I know definitely helped me. Now firstly, a couple days before my exam, I would do past papers and I would write down all of my incorrect or unmentioned marks onto my phone's notes app. The morning of my exam, as I was eating breakfast and waiting to leave my house, I would just be continuously rereading this table of notes on my phone. For breakfast, normally I had nothing or I had something very small like a banana. This led to me not being lethargic during my exam and being much more productive, since my body could concentrate all of its energy into my brain doing the work rather than into digesting the food that I ate. And I would only eat after my exams. You don't need to follow my exact advice, so if you are going to eat, do not have high carb meals right before your exam. Make sure that there's a long time gap between you eating and you actually writing the exam, or you're gonna just feel tired and lazy. I feel so sorry for my friends who went to the canteen to get massive meals minutes before their exam. In the morning, as I was walking to school, I'd have earphones in and I'd be listening to the 1-hour summaries of certain papers, especially the sciences and humanities. Or if I was walking with my friends to school, we would be testing each other on that table of notes I had on my phone of my incorrect or unmentioned marks. And then I'd get to school an hour before my exam started. During that hour, I would get a pen and paper and write down everything that was on the table on my phone onto a piece of paper. And then using a red pen, I would underline all of the key words on that piece of paper. And when there were around 20 minutes before the exam, I would just quickly skim through either a CGP book or the books that I wrote in, and I would jot down any key statements that I really needed to remember onto that same piece of paper. Up to the exam, I just kept on rereading this piece of paper. When I was standing outside the exam hall, I still had this piece of paper in my hand, and I was just focusing on all of the words I underlined in red pen. As I walked into the exam hall, I'd just pop the paper into the bin. As I sat down in the exam hall waiting for the teachers to tell us to start, I would just tell myself how I'm gonna absolutely crush and dominate that paper. It sounds weird, but it helped me and it will help you. The key is to think you've under-revised all the way up until you enter the exam hall. And then once you enter the exam hall, you want to tell yourself that this paper is going to be very, very easy. Do you want to become incredibly arrogant? And I don't know if you're religious, but I also prayed this the final minute before the teacher told me to start my exam. Before the final seconds of the exam starting, I simply closed my eyes and took deep breaths, being aware of my surroundings and being present in the moment. Now that's exactly what I did. You can definitely take some advice and incorporate it into your routine. I put a summary of this video in the description below, and I've linked the video where I outlined my exact revision method. You can DM me on Instagram if you guys have any questions or queries, and I wish all of you guys the best of luck with your exams.